Hi. Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For this video, we'll be discussing the 2003 film Mystic River, starring Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Emmy Rossum. It's in this, along with not Maya Rudolph. Marsha Gay Harlan was also in this thing, and it was also directed by Clint Eastwood. And of course, this movie is one of the first films since Ben-Hur. They have the Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor in the same film. This went to Sean Penn for Best Actor, the communist, versus Tim Robbins, a liberal idiot, which is a different thing for another day. Of course, this movie also has Kevin Bacon and Lawrence Fishburne, so it has an A-list cast. Now, this movie is basically what it is a murder mystery, and it's over a 2-hour film for a murder mystery. This film is about what starts off at the beginning of the film, where Tim Robbins, Kevin Bacon, and the Sean Penn characters were all kids playing street hockey, and they saw like a repaved section of concrete, for the street, for a pavement. So they decided to write the names in it, and one of the kids, the Tim Robbins character, when he was little, gets kidnapped by two guys who pretend to be cops, and which you really don't see in the film, but you see in the flashbacks, but the kid was abused and beaten up by these two guys who had a reputation of doing it to other kids. So fast forward like 25 years later, Sean Penn's character runs a little store who had served 2 years in prison for robbery. You had Kevin Bacon character becomes a cop, who has Lawrence Fishburne as his partner. Then you have, excuse me, and of course you had the Tim Robbins character, the one who was kidnapped in the early part of the film, as a working stiff in this blue-collar neighborhood in Boston. Of course, what happens is that Sean Penn's 19-year-old daughter, played by Emmy Rossum, goes out for a night with her girlfriends, and meanwhile she was dating a guy who Sean Penn didn't approve of, which is happens all the time to everybody. Which we get into maybe later if I have time. What happens is that she comes home murdered. She gets killed. So the Kevin Bacon character is the one who gets the case. So what he does is he tries to figure out who did it, and there's maybe two possible suspects. Tim Robbins' character, who on the night of the murder came home all bloody. So right away you think, oh, it's him. And for the next 2 hours of this film, you think it's a Tim Robbins character. Spoiler: it's not the Tim Robbins character. Because when I first saw this film, it took me up to now to see this film because of the Sean Penn was in it. I didn't know that Tim Robbins was in it. I just knew that Sean Penn was in it, and he won the Oscar for Best Actor, which I can't stand Sean Penn because of his political beliefs. If these actors are shut up and don't profess their political views or only the correct ones, and that's it. If he just shut up, we'll appreciate his acting more. That's when he plays the father, and he was of the mother girl, and he wants to know, obviously, what happened. And they're trying to find out, the two cops, or the Kevin Bacon and Lawrence Fishburne characters, are trying to figure out or find out what exactly happened. Is going to try to set up trace her movements. They can see her in just about every other cop movie or cop television show, like a Law and Order, pretty much. Right, figure out, set up a timeline for this girl. So they went to the bar. They asked people in the bar. They asked girlfriends. They asked her boyfriend. Once they find out that the boyfriend was going to elope, go to Vegas with the girl, and elope, right? Which doesn't sit too well with Sean Penn, and now the cops believe maybe he's a suspect too, because they don't 100% believe the boyfriend's story, and then they find out they don't 100% believe the Tim Robbins character either, because all of a sudden he's becoming the way he acts. And the Tim Robbins character, the more he acts in the movie, the more you tend to believe that he was the suspect. Because like I said earlier, he came home bloody and blood on his clothes, blood on his hands, right? Hey, it looks like maybe this guy did it. Well, turns out he didn't do it. Turns out the boyfriend's brother is the actual one who did it. Spoiler for those few of you who did not see this movie. What happened was the brother took a gun. It was hidden in the house. It belonged to the father, and decided to play with the gun. And the car comes by, and it had to be Amy Rossum in the car. And accidentally shot, fired the gun, and the gun went off accidentally and killed and shot her. And she stops the car, runs out in the woods, and then the boyfriend's brother and the brother's friend went out, beat the crap out of her, and shot her a second time. And that's what happened. But it took a really long time. Like I said, it's an over 2-hour movie, so I think it's like about 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. So it took a real. The thing I have with Clint Eastwood movies is that they're really slow. Any movie that he directed is really, really a slow-paced film. I'm not knocking his directing ability because he's a pretty damn good movie director, but his movies are very, very slow-paced. And you have to sit there and wait. You have to have a real long attention span to sit there and watch his films. And it's really slow moving, really methodical the way the story unfolds. And of course, the reason why the Tim Robbins character, also major spoiler, came home with blood on his clothes and everything is because of the fact that he supposedly killed a child molester or pervert who was molesting a kid in a parked car just outside the bar where he was hanging out in on the night of the murder. So it's like, huh? Because he never actually saw that until, of course, towards the end of the movie when that plot element was revealed. He said, "Oh yeah, we found the body in the woods behind the bar." I mean, of this child molester. I mean, I'm like, seriously, you took over 2 hours and you said, "Oh, by the way, we found the body just now." I mean, how dumb are these cops? I mean, seriously, I mean, they didn't find the body right then and there. But that was really the problem they had with this movie. That these two guys couldn't find, they didn't know there was another body around where the bar is. I mean, come on. And then until when they got like a missing persons report, then they start looking around, and they just so happens to run into this body. I mean, seriously. I mean, come on. I mean, how inept are these two guys? I mean, seriously. Lenny Briscoe and Chris North, will be Briscoe and Logan. We'll be embarrassed over these two guys and how inept they were. They couldn't find the body right near where the woods are, in the woods where the bar is. I mean, come on. I mean, really. I mean, other than that, Clint Eastwood was trying to be clever trying to be clever with that plot device and say, "Oh, who really did it?" But because there was more evidence, it was more believable for the Tim Robbins character than it was the boyfriend's brother. I mean, it made more sense because it was obvious it was the one that did it and not the boyfriend's brother. That it was just because I wanted Tim Robbins to go to jail, to put it bluntly. because there was more evidence I felt on Tim Roberts than the boyfriend's brother. So when Sean Penn found out that they believed it was Tim Roberts, or the cops believed it was him, and they gave him an update on the investigation, saying, "Oh, we believe that's the Tim Roberts character who did it. Oh, Dave did it." So what Sean Penn did was he went out and killed him. Right? What made more sense to me about the boyfriend's brother doing it was because back in 1989, Sean Penn killed the boyfriend's father. He was constantly giving money, like $500 a month, to the family, which has also been found out in the film as well. So I figured, oh, okay. When they mentioned that, when they figured that out, I figured, oh, okay, it would make sense that the boyfriend found out that Sean Penn killed his father. So it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to kill your daughter to get even for you killing my dad. That kind of makes sense to me. But it turned out to be was the boyfriend's brother who did it. And like I said, it kind of got messed up a little bit towards the end. That's probably why he didn't win the Oscar for Best Picture. I think Chicago. I think it was either Chicago or the last Lord of the Rings movie won the Oscar for Best Picture for that year. But that's probably why, because it got a little confusing towards the end of it. But I thought it was, I thought it was an okay movie. Actually, of course, other than because I can't stand Sean Penn. I mean, even though he gave a great performance, he won an Oscar for it. I think he won 2 Oscars in his career. This was one of them. But still, I can't get over his political beliefs, going to Colombia and all the other nonsense. And of course, Tim Roberts, being the liberal idiot that he is, protesting the war. And of course, the same year, in 2003, when we were about to go to war in Iraq for the second time, Tim Roberts was to do a Hall of Fame thing for the movie, or make a appearance at the Baseball Hall of Fame. They have a discussion on the movie Bull Durham, and that was canceled because of Tim Roberts and Susan Sarandon's political beliefs. I'm surprised that nobody protested the Hall of Fame for making that decision. But anyway, or at that time. But anyway, that's why he probably didn't win for Best Picture. Besides not only that, but Clint Eastwood won twice for Best Picture and Best Director twice for Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby. So why do it a third time for this guy? Because they don't like giving the awards to the same person again, except for Meryl Streep. So that's my review of the movie Mystic River. Please click on the video. Please feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews not only on my YouTube channel, but at rowdyc.com. There's also WDY and NSC.com. Homepage and reviewer Chris Lee Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website as well. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.